If you searched for SSH escape sequences, you probably have a terminal that will not die. The VPN dropped, the laptop slept, Wi-Fi changed networks, and now Control-C only prints characters into the void. Closing the terminal works, but it is sloppy, especially with tabs, multiplex sessions, or port forwards involved. OpenSSH has had a client-side emergency handle for years. Press Enter, then tilde dot. That sequence tells your local SSH client to disconnect immediately. The remote shell does not interpret it. The broken network path does not need to cooperate. SSH escape sequences are commands for the OpenSSH client while an interactive session is running. They are not shell features. Bash, ZSH, sudo, tmux, and the remote server are not implementing these. Your local SSH process watches for a special escape character, normally tilde, at a very specific place in the input stream. When it sees a valid escape sequence, it performs a local action: disconnect, print help, list forwarded connections, background the client, or open a small command line for forwarding changes. This exists because an SSH session can lose its usable shell long before the client process has cleanly exited. The rule that everyone misses is this: the escape character is recognized only after a fresh new line. In practice, press Enter, then type tilde followed by the command character. If you type tilde dot in the middle of a shell command, it goes to the remote side as plain text. If a full-screen program is running, that enter may matter, so use judgment. To send a real tilde at the start of a line, type it twice, tilde tilde. The first tilde activates escape handling, the second says, send a literal tilde to the remote session. You can change the escape character with escape char, or disable it, but the default is what most admins encounter. Walk the card line by line. Enter then tilde dot disconnects the session immediately. This is the one to remember for dead TCP sessions and stuck terminals. Enter, then tilde hash lists forwarded connections, which is useful when you have several local, remote, dynamic, or X11 forwarding channels active, and you need to see what the client is carrying. Enter, then tilde tilde sends one literal tilde to the remote side. Enter, then tilde capital C opens the SSH escape command line. At that prompt, you can add a live local forward using the same -L syntax you know from the SSH command line. Some OpenSSH versions require explicitly enabling that command line. Here is a normal admin pattern. You connect to a server and forward local port 18080 to the server's loopback web service on port 80. 10 minutes later, while troubleshooting, you realize you also need the node exporter or another loopback-only service on port 9100. You do not want to drop the shell, lose context, and reconnect. First, press Enter, then tilde hash, and confirm what forwards already exist. Then press Enter, tilde capital C. At the escape prompt, add the second forward shown on screen. From another local terminal, test with netcat against 127.0.0.1, port 19100. The first pitfall is typing the sequence without a fresh new line. Nothing happens, because the client correctly sends it to the remote program. The second is assuming tilde capital C always works. On current OpenSSH, the escape command line may be disabled unless EnableEscapeCommandline is set. Enable it per host, not blindly everywhere, because it lets an interactive user create listeners from inside an existing session. Third, bind local forwards to loopback unless you intentionally need other machines to reach them. A live tunnel is still a network exposure. Last, tilde dot is abrupt. It drops the client now. It does not politely log out of shells or clean up application state. This sits between basic SSH usage and serious day 2 operations. Earlier, you learned local and remote forwarding as options on the original SSH command. Escape sequences let you inspect and adjust some of that while the session is already running. They also complement keep alives. Server alive interval helps detect dead peers automatically, while tilde dot is your manual eject handle when detection is too slow. They are separate from control master multiplexing, but the topics touch, because one client process may carry more than one useful channel. Later, when we talk about systemd user units and reliable tunnels, remember that escape sequences are for humans at a terminal, not unattended automation. Use a machine or VM you administer. Connect with the command on screen, replacing host with your lab host. Press Enter, then tilde question mark, and read the help from your own client. That output is the authoritative list for your installed OpenSSH version. Now press Enter, then tilde capital C, and add the local forward to the remote SSH daemon on port 22. In another terminal, run netcat verbose 0 IO mode against 127.0.0.1 port 18081. Then return to the SSH session and press enter, then ## to list forwarded channels. Finally, press enter, then ~. And watch the client exit immediately. 3 beats to keep. First, ~. is the cleanest way to kill a hung SSH client when the network path is gone, and Control-C is useless. Second, ~# shows forwarded channels, which matters once SSH becomes more than a remote shell. Third, ~C can add tunnels live, but know whether your client requires EnableEscapeCommandline and be deliberate about what you expose. And over all of it, escape sequences work only after a fresh newline, with ~~ for a literal tilde. This is SSH Mastery, one SSH topic every day from zero to expert. Also daily on this channel, the ranked CVE brief for admins who patch by risk, not noise.